is it not a bit of a self-own when PP goes on and on about the lost decade of the Trudeau Liberals? Because I'm like, how bad was it? And it asserts that if Trudeau broke the country, especially when it comes to the economy, it must have been thriving under the Harper years, which it was not. And now, because of PP's rants, I've reminded myself. Here's why. In his first term, Harper did present something pretty novel for a conservative government. He presented a balanced, tax reduction oriented budget and still paid for services that would normally be paid for with taxes. How? With billions of federal surplus from the 1998 to 2005 Martin Liberals before him. And at that point in time, it's a good idea when you've got a strong financial position as a country. It's good to think about increasing jobs and overall economic growth and expansion of industry, which is not what Harper did. During the Harper years, jobs and overall growth in the economy were worse. One thing that did improve with Harper was individual disposable income and net worth. Obviously, really important, but also really resonates with the voters because it's right in their pocketbook. But even though that's a good thing, as a voter, you are relying on your government to think about the long term, big picture, innovation, expanding industry, being a leader and competitive in the global market. Nope, did not happen during the Harper years. Now, during the Harper years, housing markets in cities across the country were strong. Housing, typically provincial, nothing to do with Harper policies. There was the resiliency of the Bank of Canada during the Harper years, especially in response to the Great Recession caused by the subprime mortgage meltdown that started in 2007 and went through 2010. Well, the resilience of the Bank of Canada has nothing to do with the federal government or Harper policies. The Bank of Canada is independent when it comes to things like monetary policy with regards to its connection to inflation and interest rates. Anyway, who was the governor of the Bank of Canada that provided this amazing resiliency? Mark Carney. So who do you want to be the Prime Minister of Canada now? The guy who managed the resiliency of the Bank of Canada during one of the biggest economic downturns of the modern era? Or the guy who's being mentored by the former Prime Minister who only demonstrated a slight reduction in carbon emissions, which had nothing to do with him, but instead had to do with external factors like the financial crisis and the fact that Ontario was closing coal plants? Now, the Liberals under Trudeau did dramatically increase our federal debt. That's not good, but there were much more dramatic decreases in carbon emissions because of the Trudeau Liberal proactive solutions for cleaner energy, methane gas reductions, and more efficient buildings. And you see what I did there? I shifted the conversation to the climate crisis because nobody's really talking about that anymore, and that's the crime that needs to stop.